किया था कि भूपेंद्र नरेंद्र का रिकॉर्ड तोड़े, इसलिए नरेंद्र जी जान से मेहनत करेगा। और गुजरात की जनता ने तो रिकॉर्ड तोड़ने में भी रिकॉर्ड कर दिया, सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ दिए।
वेलकम लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन। बाकी सब मोह माया है, गुजरात पर सिर्फ मोदी ही छाया है। दैट्स द वर्डिक्ट फ्रॉम गुजरात, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, एंड द प्राइम मिनिस्टर सेइंग very clearly that it's the effort of the karyakartas that's come and borne fruit, and of course the trust, the bharosa, the confidence of the voters of Gujarat. As the Statue of Unity stands tall, this beautiful vista overlooking the beautiful Narmada Valley in Kevadia, let's also call out how Gujarat has voted. It's a record-tode voting, ladies and gentlemen, and we present to you here in our continuous coverage at CNN News 18. This is a number which is going to be very hard to beat in the future Vidhan Sabha elections in Gujarat. 53% vote share. More than 1 in 2 voters has come out and voted decisively for the BJP. The opposition, the Congress and the AAP put together total 40% vote share, and the others add their 47% vote share. So they combined do not fall about 6 to 7% short of the BJP. That is the impact of this election. And that is after 27 years in power. A massive pro-incumbency trust vote that's been given, handed over into the jholi of Narendra Damodar Modi by the people of Gujarat, setting the tone for the next 15 months ahead of Lok Sabha 2024. And as I make my way back into the studio, it's over to Zaka and Maria, who've been there right through the day, getting you the best ever election coverage. Over to you, Zaka.
What a fascinating story this has been in Gujarat. The BJP has had now an institutional presence in Gujarat. And for me, the most fascinating aspect of this election, look at this map. It's a sea of saffron. It's a sea of saffron in a way that no party, forget about BJP or Congress, no party in the history of Gujarat has got. For me, the fascinating part about this election was all the mistakes that were made, all the lessons that needed to be learned from 2017 have been learned. Patidar-dominated seats, look at this. BJP winning 34 out of 39. Compare that to 2017, where the Congress, particularly in Saurashtra, in the rural seats, the Congress ran the BJP very close. The BJP has learned from that mistake, and today the BJP completely dominating the Patidar seats, 34 out of 39. Another social demographic where they've really improved, again, learnt the lesson from 2017, is the tribal seats. And I want to specially mention the tribal seats because they spread all the way from Banaskantha and Sabarkantha in the north to Panchmahals, Dangs, Navsari. And remember, the tribal seats, many of those constituencies had 70% plus voter turnout. So a large number of tribals came to vote. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen, 26 out of 30. 26 out of 30 at a strike rate of 95%. The Congress, and mind you, these are seats that are traditional Congress voters. The tribals have been traditional Congress voters, just 3 out of 30. Just compare that to 2017 and you see the difference. It was Congress at 15, it was BJP at 12. Once again, a social demographic where they've corrected it. The Prime Minister was talking about this, and I think it's a very important aspect. When India gets its first tribal woman president, the tribals of Navsari and Dangs and Panchmahals and Sabarkantha and Banaskantha have come out and affirmed the choice of the first woman tribal president and given the BJP
and
a huge
woman
mandate.
voter.
Yes.
The Prime Minister saying that women ne Ashirwad ka tika lagaya, tilak lagaya. But I think, for me, the story of this election is about the partnership. Partnership between the central leadership and the state leadership. What the Prime Minister said was very interesting, Zaka, that Narendra ne वादा किया था कि वो कोशिश करेंगे कि भूपेंद्र नरेंद्र का रिकॉर्ड तोड़े. I think that is the beauty of this election partnership that we are looking at. The BJP sending a message, yes, it is about Narendra Modi, but it is equally about ensuring that the states have important leadership in, say, Bhupendra Patel this time around. And I think Anand is ready to step down.
Yes,
Anand?
absolutely. I've been listening to the two of you in my quadcopter. That's what this beauty of technology, real meeting, real, artificial meeting, virtual, all of that put together. But the fact is that in a assembly, Vidhan Sabha seat, the Prime Minister talked about it too, as we land Aramshi. This is where it just swings a bit. There you go. See? Now set me down properly, please. I was just saying that Bhupendra Patel won by nearly 2 lakh votes in a Vidhan Sabha election. That's a record in itself. Let me get down and get across here. Thank you very, very much, Alexa. Zaka, that's important. Ghatlodia, BJP bastion. But the fact is that nearly 2 lakh votes, larger than the Lok Sabha victory.
Oh, absolutely. Ghatlodia, in fact, is the biggest constituency in all of Gujarat in terms of the voter population. The largest electorate is in this constituency, and this constituency has now given 2 chief ministers. Anandiben Patel was from this constituency, and now Bhupendra Patel twice from this constituency. I think it's a phenomenal achievement in an...
Well, I can't hear you, Zaka,
Okay,
because this quadcopter is making a lot of noise. Alexa, I know you like to be in the studio with us, but we don't want to have the discussion with your rotors on. So please, out of here. Thank you very, very much. The quadcopter's been great fun. You've done a fantastic job. I don't think we're going to be seeing you again very, very soon. Are we? Okay, we'll see. But story, like you said, you know, Amiben Yagnik, Rajya Sabha MP, what was the effort that was put there in the Congress party if they really wanted to challenge the incumbent chief minister? Returned more than 2 lakh votes. This is not just selection, outright rejection.
With 1 lakh, this time it has doubled to 2 lakhs.
Exactly, and that too the average size of an assembly constituency is about 2.5, maybe 3 lakhs. To have a 1 lakh lead in such a constituency, like I said, the biggest in terms of the number of electors in this constituency. And remember, Bhupendra Patel, you know, I keep going back to that image from 2017-18. He was sitting in the last row.
Yes.
First time MLA, had no clue that he was going to be
You know the interesting story? As he was trying to get inside, the security guard stopped him. They said, "Aapko jaane ka permission nahi hai." They quite literally stopped him, and then suddenly they realized, oh, he is now going to be the chief minister. So he walked in as an ordinary karyakarta or an MLA at that time, and who was not even getting inside, and he walked out to, you know, Z security and getting into the car.
Unbelievable, unbelievable story, no doubt about it.
Before we move forward and, you know, talk a little more, let's listen into what the Prime Minister had to say. Quick, short excerpt.
भाजपा का बढ़ता जन समर्थन ये दिखाता है कि परिवारवाद और भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ जन आक्रोश लगातार बढ़ रहा है। और मैं इस बात को स्वस्थ लोकतंत्र के लिए एक शुभ संकेत के रूप में देखता हूं। और साथियों, इस बार वाकई गुजरात ने तो कमाल ही कर दिया है। मैं नड्डा जी सहित सभी भाजपा कार्यकर्ताओं को बधाई देता हूं और विशेष रूप से मैं गुजरात की जनता को भी नमन करता हूं। चुनावों के दौरान मैंने गुजरात के भाई बहनों और युवाओं से कहा था कि इस बार नरेंद्र का रिकॉर्ड टूटना चाहिए और मैंने वादा किया था कि भूपेंद्र नरेंद्र का रिकॉर्ड तोड़े, इसलिए नरेंद्र जी जान से मेहनत करेगा। और गुजरात की जनता ने तो रिकॉर्ड तोड़ने में भी रिकॉर्ड कर दिया। उसने गुजरात की स्थापना से लेकर के अब तक सारे रिकॉर्ड तोड़ दिए। गुजरात के इतिहास का सबसे प्रचंड जनादेश भाजपा को देकर गुजरात के लोगों ने नया इतिहास बना दिया है।
Formation of Gujarat in 1960 when the Bombay province broke away Junagadh and then merged with Gujarat. The state of Gujarat saying tab se lekar ab tak ka record tod diya. Record todne mein record tod diya. The gratitude is there, but also the message, ladies and gentlemen, that for the Modi magic to prevail, the Karyakartas have continued to commit to the party. The work of Bhajpa, the rise of Bhajpa is because of the work discipline, the effort that's put on the ground, and it is the organizational structure that works. It's been put there, it's been tested, and it works, and that's what is the secret or recipe to success. The Modi magic casting a spell yet again. Driving force behind the BJP's biggest ever win in Gujarat, and this Gujarat model is what will now be taken across to the various states, union territories, and of course Lok Sabha 2024. Instrument in also Patidars, OBCs returning to the BJP fold. It is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's magic, Ashwasan, and the effort the PMO took in terms of the entire reshuffle of the cabinet and the assurance that the PM is still there, he's still connected and he's still reachable. Revved up this entire poll machinery to counter 27 years of anti-incumbency and to ensure that 2017 is an aberration in the BJP's performance in Gujarat. And it will be forgotten with this 156. Gujarat voters still in awe of the son of the soil. Not just in awe. We should replace that with adulation now. That's what's coming through. Respect, adulation, a certain level of reverence in certain groups who say we will do anything for that man who's always working for us. That's the belief they have on him, the trust they have. Left nothing to chance in the home state, held 31 rallies, 2 road shows, spent 25 days on ground, 25 days of the Prime Minister, the Union Home Minister there since Diwali, the effort that was put in, all of it coming together for a record-tod record. That's what's happened.
And चुनाव स्पष्टता से लड़ा जाता है, चुनाव का लक्ष्य जीत होता है. That's clear, that's evident. Let me bring in the guests at this hour and go straight to Professor Nalin Mehta. Nalin Mehta, your big takeaway from Prime Minister's speech at the BJP headquarters.
I think the biggest takeaway for me was humility. I think the forward-looking message that he gave out on this, the point he made about Himachal as well, we shouldn't forget Himachal, about the very the sliver of a difference in vote share in Himachal, the assurance he gave to the people of Himachal in terms of central government assistance and things like that. But on Gujarat in particular, I think the message that he's setting the stage for election battles to come. He's saying this is a portent for days to come. He's talking about the always present Modi imagery of the people that attack him. He made sure that he mentioned that, which I think is now par for the course with the Prime Minister. But all in all, a very measured speech and something which I think Mr. Modi could have, he could have been more celebratory. But he wasn't. I think he was very measured. He was very prime ministerial in his approach today.
Well, that is something that we've seen in the recent past. That's the change in the stature and also demeanor of the Prime Minister. He will do what he has got to do in his role as a campaigner. Right now he's talking as a Prime Minister and as a leader, and he wanted to celebrate the victory with the people. But Nishant Rawal and Sanju Verma ji, namaste, along with Nalin Mehta joining us this evening. Nishant ji, sabse pehle to congratulations on the victory in Himachal. But the focus will also be 77 se 17 in Gujarat.
Anandji, I've been doing debates since 8 o'clock in the morning, and you are the first one who congratulate us for Himachal Pradesh victory. Because today, what happens since entire day, people are congratulating to BJP. Even I am congratulating Bharatiya Janata Party Gujarat Division and Pradhan Mantri ji as well for the amazing victory that they made the record. They broke the record of Congress Party, 149 seats in Gujarat. But other way around, Himachal Pradesh is also an important state of North India, and it was ruled by BJP. 2 things happened today. BJP made the record in Gujarat with 156 seats, which was the amazing record. But other way around, in 2017, BJP won Himachal Pradesh, BJP won Gujarat, BJP was ruling in MCD as well. But today,
but Nishantji, I'll tell you what.
2 days,
they
won
you should
state,
Gujarat, you should look at that.
And they lost two.
No, you should look at
Pradesh.
it's easy. I know you are a politician, you are a spokesperson of the political party, so you will have to make your arguments and you'll have to show your party in good light, and I respect that also. But let's look at the absolute numbers. What separates you in Himachal between the BJP and the Congress? 0.9% of the vote share. That's the difference. Okay, what separates you either in terms of vote share in Gujarat? 28%, and it is 53%. So nearly 30%. You are nearly 42% last time around. You have slid down. So the performance is also what separates you in Gujarat, 17 seats and 156 seats. This 1%, because it's a two-party race, no AAP, none of the, nobody else, the difference is 15 seats. So take the 15 seats and we commend you. But if you were to win Himachal hands down, sir, then you should have at least a 6 to 7% different vote share and a massive runaway victory that would have been registered. That's not happened, Nishanji. Sanju Verma ji, Himachal, the fact is there are two plans, and along with the congratulations which are all happening all around, the fact is the lesson is to be learned. If you are Sangathit and united, you will win like Gujarat. If there are factionalism and 21 rebels fighting within the inside a particular state, you will end up like Himachal.
Anand, I think that is very well put. First, let me start by congratulating, Nishant, the Congress counterpart on the panel, for that victory in Himachal Pradesh. I think let's not shove things under the carpet, and that is certainly not one of my strong points. Yes, the internal rebellion perhaps could have been contained. I think it would be improper on my part to sit here and wax eloquent, because the party top brass, I'm sure, has taken cognizance. For instance, look at a rebel like Ashwini Sharma in Himachal Pradesh. I mean, where in a constituency, the total voter size, because Himachal Pradesh, let's face it, is a very small state of barely a crore in terms of population. Somebody like Ashwini Sharma gets more than 13 or 14,000 votes. So certainly introspection needs to be done. Let's not try and beat, around the bush on that one. But I have to say this, what a stellar victory it has been in Gujarat. To say that you have won, I mean, even if we had won crossing 127, which was our record in 2002, it would have still been a landslide. But to get more than 156 odd seats, I think that is unbelievable. But my key takeaway, Zaka, Anand and Maria, is this. As the Prime Minister said, I think the last few lines of his speech, which was electrifying as always, was that abhi hum par aur zulm hone hain. हमको अपनी सहन शक्ति का विस्तार करना पड़ेगा, हमको अपनी समझदारी का विस्तार करना पड़ेगा. And I think Prime Minister is also not known to hold his punches. Yes. Nalin Mehta made a very important point about the Prime Minister's speech not being overduly celebratory. Absolutely. But at the same time it was measured. Right. And I'll tell you why.
Sanju, the point that you made.
Seconds.
Yes, okay, quickly, 10 seconds.
10 seconds. This is not for CNN News 18, but I think media needs to learn that you cannot be calling Arvind Kejriwal an alternative to Narendra Modi. This man said, मैं भविष्यवाणी दे रहा हूँ, आप लिख लीजिए, हमको 90-92, which means 90-92 seats तो जरूर मिलेंगी. ये बड़े गंदे लोग हैं. आपको आम आदमी पार्टी को 150 सीट्स देनी है. Basically, when he said गंदे आदमी,
yes, I get that. Sanju, the point that you made specifically about the rebels, I think that is actually reflecting in the numbers as well, Zaka. The rebels, the number of seats, in fact, the vote that they have polled is similar to the loss that the BJP has had.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, of those 21, I think the BJP managed to get a few of them back as well, got them to withdraw the nomination. But there were 10 of them who cost the BJP. BJP rebels who stood as independents who cost the BJP. Out of those 10 seats, the Congress has won 5. That's up 1 from last time. The BJP is down 2 from last time. So this figure should have been 5. It should have been 5-5. And the others 2 have won as well. So this figure should have been 5 plus 2, 7. So 7 of those people had won last time. This time only 3. And I just want to just quickly run through the constituencies. It's across. It's in Lower Himachal. It's in Upper Himachal. From the constituency of Indora, Malendra Rajan of the Congress has won. Here again, it was the fight between the two Pathaniyas, as it were. Yes. The Pathaniya from the Congress party, of course, won in that. In Dehra, Hoshiar Singh, BJP rebel, stood as an independent. He has won. He polled almost 25-26% of the vote in that constituency. Same here in the case of Nalagarh, KL Thakur, again BJP rebel. He polled, the difference was 17%. He won by 17 percentage points. That is not a small margin. So the point I'm making is that BJP rebels was a huge problem, and it was across the state. It was in the lower reaches, it was in the upper reaches, it was in Kulu Manali, it was in Kinnaur. So when you have a factor that is affecting a party, a ruling party, across regions, then that's a problem. This is a problem. Yes, the BJP did try to address it. Unfortunately, it didn't get resolved.
I think they
we'll talk
arrested
Himachal
it.
in detail.
But I think, the factor and the story of this election will be about Gujarat.
Of course.
And Zaka, look at this. Tribals ne diya, महिलाओं ने दिया, OBCs ने दिया, पटीदार ने दिया, सब ने दे दिया बीजेपी को. मतलब कहां पर है चुनाव? यही बोल रहे हैं.
चुनाव भी नहीं, but the other part is the voter is also turning around and saying, Nalin Mehta, that we don't want an AAP. We don't want a third option in these states. Look, they kept it as a two-party fight. They kept it between the BJP and the Congress. It just looks like that the voter is calling out to the Congress and saying, come out and fight, wake up. We are happy with you. We want to vote for you, but you come out and fight. There is no campaign called a silent campaign. The AAP is getting things on a platter, sir. Punjab, Congress gave it away. They had it in their kitty. Even at the MCD elections, look, the AAP has lost in its bastions. It's down by about 12 to 14% votes in MCD. And the
impact of Punjab should have been felt on Himachal, which hasn't been the case. It's the neighboring state.
The story of AAP in both of these states, in Himachal, its vote share is 1%.
Correct.
In Gujarat, its vote share is 13%. That is a story for me. I mean, you would imagine that a new party, a 10-year-old party, has greater chance of success in a smaller state and not in a bigger state. And yet, how many rallies did Mr. Kejriwal address in Himachal Pradesh?
They didn't do it because they realized that the Congress was strong there even as a regional base of Veerbhadra Singh, and because it was Veerbhadra Singh versus P.K. Dhumal. Here the Congress said we are doing a silent campaign. They actually gave up the impetus. Nishantji, and I'm going to ask you, Nalin Mehta and then Nishant, please. 77 to 92, मैं बार-बार यही कहता हूँ, 77 से 92 का रास्ता छोटा था या फिर 99 से 156 का. How could the Congress give it away on a platter to a party that's not even a decade old? Nalin Mehta.
So, the story of the Congress in Gujarat is of a party that simply deserted the battlefield. In the sense that if your generals are not going to lead from the front and you're not going to fight the fight yourself, why should voters fight for you? And these are voters who have stuck through thick and thin with the Congress across almost 3 decades of BJP dominance.
Yeah.
The Congress never fell below 38%, 35, 36, 37% in the last 20 years. Now, if you look at the non-BJP vote, that it was around 41% with the Congress last time. It's remained around 40% overall this time, but split between Congress and AAP. About 13% is the swing, minus swing against Congress, and 12.5% has gone to AAP. That's what has happened this time. So Kejriwal is now setting himself up to gobble up the Congress as you go forward. That was the punt. Now that's not gone deep enough, but he's made enough inroads, including in rural Gujarat. The other thing I want to say is that I've just been looking at some figures. It's not just that the BJP increased its vote share by around 4 percentage points to roughly around 54% plus. I'm looking at the vote percentage margins in the seats. Seats with over 50,000 margin in Gujarat are almost 50.
Wow.
Seats with over between 40,000 to 50,000 margin are 20 plus.
Yes.
30 to 40,000 is similar. There are very few seats in Gujarat which were by thin margins.
So,
I think the scale of this victory is, on every analytical category, there is no analytical category in which there's been a contest.
And Bhupendra Patel winning with 2 lakh in an assembly constituency, and that will be perhaps the highest in this election, just as he won with 1 lakh votes, in last time around in 2017. But Rashid, again, the point that is being made, let's emphasize on that Himachal is a state which is close to Punjab. Punjab is a state which has been won by the Aam Aadmi Party recently, but it fails to make any impact in Himachal. As far as Gujarat is concerned, they realize that perhaps there is an option there, but it is the Congress which has completely collapsed in Gujarat, and it has led to the growth of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Maria, I think we must understand Arvind Kejriwal. He's in some ways he has national ambitions. He likes to play big. He always tries to draw attention, a spotlight on him. You look at his move to contest against Prime Minister Modi from Varanasi. He knew that his chances were next to nothing, but he did that. So I think in his assessment, he realized that it would be far more prudent to go to Gujarat and make a big issue about it. Somehow be a spoil sport or a kind of.
But Isudan Gadvi lost. The face Gopal Italia lost. And as far as these 5 seats are concerned, and I'll bring Zaka on this, where are these seats coming from, Zaka?
No, so 4 out of those 5 seats are coming from Saurashtra. I just want to run this quick data point, and you can get our guests to talk about this. Just in Saurashtra alone, and I'm stressing Saurashtra because, like I said, almost 60 seats are in Saurashtra, and this is where the Congress did exceedingly well last time. Yes, you could attribute it to Patidar agitation, farmer unrest, and so on. But look at this. 18 seats, where 14 of which the BJP won, the Aam Aadmi Party polled more than the victory margin. So which means 7 out of these seats the BJP won, 4 out of those 5 that I'm talking about, which the AAP won, are in Saurashtra. Net, the loss is to who? The loss is to the Congress party. So essentially the point I'm making is the Aam Aadmi Party has cut in deeply into the Congress votes in a way that had the AAP not been there, had it been a straight fight between BJP and Congress, this figure would have been a little more balanced. Congress won 0 seats out of this. Aam Aadmi Party finished second in 14 minus 4, 10 seats. 10 seats out of these 18. The Aam Aadmi Party was number 2 party. In 4 seats, of course, it was the leading party. So the point is that it hurt the Congress party in rural Saurashtra. I think somewhere both pollsters as well as even political parties were making this false assumption that in Gujarat, the AAP will only be visible in urban pockets, and if it hurts anyone, it will hurt the BJP as much as it would hurt the Congress. In Gujarat, it's actually hurt in rural Saurashtra more than it has hurt anywhere else.
The AAP was visible. The AAP was making noise even in social media. Nishant Rawal ji, मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, भारत जोड़ो अभियान बढ़िया है, लेकिन गुजरात क्यों छोड़ दिया? It is nice that the party, there is an effort to rejuvenate the party and put it all together, but here it is, you've deserted Gujarat. You had 77 the last time. This was the biggest dent in the political narrative. If the Congress nationally wanted to say, we are the party who still are the fulcrum of the opposition. Had you mounted a challenge against PM Narendra Modi and the BJP?
Anandji, I'm completely agree what Zakaji just showed on the screen, that how the B team are being sent to Gujarat to eat the vote share of Congress completely. See, they were sitting on 2% of vote share just last year in 2021, all the Jilla Panchayat and Municipal Corporation elections. And suddenly their vote share increased to 13%. So it looks like that AAP came here in Gujarat not to get more seats, not to be on second position as the opposition party, but they came here for the status of their national party, to increase their vote share, to harm the voters and to harm the vote share of Congress party. If you combine, Aam Aadmi Party took the vote share of Congress completely. That is the initial assessment of Gujarat Congress and Indian National Congress as well.
Yeah.
The headquarters is also done so many meetings, and
So
we have
Congress plus AAP plus others are still 6% less than what the BJP has managed. So still the question here in Gujarat would be about 156. So Sanju, come in on this. For the longest time, we kept on saying it's a 2-horse race. The first horse has just kept on, ran away completely. But the second and the third horse, are you seeing Aam Aadmi Party as a potential challenger in future in Gujarat?
Maria, without wanting to sound offensive, and I don't want to, seem overtly overconfident, but I think the Prime Minister summed it up very well. Obviously, he has his limitations, and he did not directly call out the bluff of the Aam Aadmi Party. But today, I am not going to hold back my punches on this. I think it needs to be said, Maria, let's be very clear about this, that Arvind Kejriwal started the campaign in Gujarat by saying they are on course to win between 90 to 92 seats, and he actually exhorted the Janta, saying 150 तो मुझे जरूर दीजिए, 90-92 तो हमको मिल ही जाएंगे. Look at the confidence, despite the fact that they only won 27 seats in the Surat Municipal Corporation elections. They lost deposits in Rajkot, lost deposits in Bhavnagar, lost deposits in Jamnagar, lost deposits in Ahmedabad. But what happened? The media only focused on Surat. Same thing happened in Goa. They won 2 seats with a 6.3% vote share. The media focused on those 2 seats, but did not champion the fact that this man who champions himself as the anti-corruption crusader lost deposits in 35 seats in Gujarat, lost deposits in 65 seats in Uttarakhand, with Ajay Kothiyal, their so-called CM face, abandoning them right after the elections. To be an alternative to Narendra Modi, to be an alternative to BJP, you have to have a track record. 10 years back, Arvind Kejriwal was largely limited to 1.5 states. Perhaps now it is 1.75 instead of 1.5, okay. But he is not a serious contender in the run-up to 2024.
Okay. Since you pointed out that part of the speech of the Prime Minister, Advaita is back with us. Advaita, according to you, the big takeaway of Prime Minister's speech?
Well, I think, he touched on very important factors. As always, he's a great messenger and he knows exactly what message he wants to deliver. I think the historic nature of the Gujarat win is something that he didn't overstate, and he doesn't need to, because I think we're all aware of just what's happened in Gujarat. I mean, since independence, I think we've not seen a situation like this where you've been 27 years in government and then you buck the trends and you come back with a historic mandate that, beats the best ever that's ever happened in Gujarat, which was Solanki and 149. Gone way beyond anything anyone predicted, any of the psephologists predicted. They kept saying, if you recall, it's going to be historic. But even then, like I mentioned at that time, that the BJP isn't really exactly sticking to a figure or saying what they mean by historic. But today, as we sit here and we look at the leaderboard, we know exactly what they mean by historic. There is no opposition in Gujarat. And AAP has whittled down. I mean, they've not even managed to get the Congress vote. So there was this huge discussion of, they'll be eating into the Congress vote and this and that and the other. No, that we've realized is just pure analysis. No, BJP has scored in areas like the tribal belt where they were never a factor.
No,
they swept no seats.
See, BJP has made its efforts in areas where it realized that if the Congress had scored the last time around, they wanted to correct that. So that was the approach of the BJP. The Aam Aadmi Party had to come in with all guns blazing and making larger-than-life noises because they wanted to be heard. They were a nobody anyways. But what net stands out for me, Rashid Kidwai, is that on ground, and I'm telling you from personal experience, in 4 days, from Surat all the way to Somnath, there were people who came out and said, "Hum to Congress hi hai, sir, lekin Congress kahan hai?" This sentiment, sir, I heard not just in Gujarat. I heard this in Uttar Pradesh. I spoke to people who said, "Hum to khade hain, sir. Netritva kahan hai? Congress kahan hai?" Same thing I heard even in Uttarakhand. Same thing I heard in Goa. It was. This is what the sentiment that
and
came.
I'm going to take that
and Rashid Kitwai.
Anand, in Anand, where in fact the Congress and the BJP has made significant. I mean, it's almost like 50-50. Now that entire cooperative belt has gone towards the BJP. I heard the same. Congress kahan hai?
Rashid Kitwai. Now, who's to blame for that?
I think it's Congress party is to be blamed. There was a huge strategic mistake. Anand, as a result of Himachal Pradesh shows that if there is, men on the ground, political activities there, you have regional satraps, you micromanage elections, then results can be good. Mr. Modi can be, politically speaking, in an assembly election, BJP can be defeated. But that was not done in Gujarat, and there are consequences. There are a lot of things are being said about Arvind Kejriwal. I think Arvind Kejriwal has a legitimate political right to be ambitious. We have seen VP Singh, how quickly he had bridged that gap between him and Rajiv Gandhi within a span of 2 years or so.
Yes.
So let's not be very dismissive about Mr. Arvind Kejriwal just because of that. I think,
No, sir, it's not about being dismissive. Sir, if the MCD elections are to go by, then Arvind Kejriwal has a serious problem. The Aam Aadmi Party has a serious problem. Go into Punjab today and do a dipstick. People in Punjab are saying, "Aaj election karao, aap nahi jeetega." So they have a serious problem. In MCD, in April, May, they were projecting 180 seats. They were planning to repeat what in 2017 the BJP had done in MCD. Now today they were actually sweating. They were wondering. And now they've got the numbers, they've got majority, but the BJP has got 104. They were not even supposed to get 40. So that's
exactly.
so
Anand making tall claims is not a sole domain of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal.
No, sir. It's about electoral efficiency, sir. Electoral efficiency, BJP Delhi ke bahar, except for Punjab, where they were fed up of the Rivayati parties. Sir, you and me, had we formed a political party and worked for 1.5 years in Punjab, we would have gotten votes. I'll tell you why. Because look at the I'm just saying, look at the people.
Sorry, I'm bringing this, but between a Tambram and a Muslim from Bhopal, I don't think you would win in Punjab.
I totally understand that, but that is the situation on ground. The frustration was, look who beat the Akali Dal, Sukhbir Badal. Look who beat the people who've been winning elections for 4-5 times, former chief minister, were beaten by people who are nobodies.
Yeah.
Because people said, koi bhi inke khilaf khada hoga, hum vote denge. That was the sentiment at that time. So can that be the parallel for the base to go and challenge a Narendra Modi at his bastion and with only one particular pocket, and you didn't even have presence in booths? How many booths were the Aam Aadmi Party people mentioned? But people have come out and voted for the AAP despite them not being there in a lot of places.
Isudan Gadvi and Gopal Italia are losing, but they are voting for people who were not seen as much. Zaka.
Correct, because they said
so there is a message कि ठीक है आप अपना चेहरा जो बना रहे हो, लेकिन for me it could be the local factor.
नहीं, और दिखो.
The
simple point is कि आप सामने आके दिखो, BJP को भी वोट इसलिए नहीं मिला है क्योंकि they love Narendra Modi. They love Narendra Modi, but Modi आया. This part is important, ladies and gentlemen. Even in Ayodhya, Yogi aaye, Baba aaye to vote pada. This is a sentiment, and Baba gaye. Modi gaye.
Vote jab tak मांगिएगा नहीं तो
the
क्यों
leader
देंगे?
has to go to the voter to show the humility that I am here and I need you. That aspect is something which was absent and if perhaps was lost on the Congress party in Gujarat, ladies and gentlemen. There are lots to talk about. We've turned the focus onto Himachal, but when we come back, we'll start with the national footprint of the BJP 2014 to 2022, the road that they're traversing and the challenges ahead. When we come back, request our guests to stay on with us. Stay with us.
आ गया